We've created a new and easier way to manage your BPM system. Now, this is one of the first things that you're going to want to do upon creating a BSC Pro account if you have an SMD or higher account. You can click, once you log in, you're going to see the dashboard. The first thing you'll click is BPM, and then you'll go down to Create a BPM. Now, when you click that, if you haven't created one yet, this table will be blank. But the first thing you do is click this Add a BPM button. Everyone that participates in a BPM, each SMD, is going to want to come in and add themselves or create an event. There's two ways that can be done. One, an SMD can create the event and they can add the rest of the SMDs into it. Or each SMD can come in, they can add themselves to the event. So the way this is going to work, you have a BPM event type. It can be recurring or one time. If you're going to do a Super Saturday or something different that you don't do every week, you're going to want to create a one-time event. For this example, I'm going to create a recurring. We're going to assume that we have a BPM on Saturday. So I select the day of the week that the BPM happens, and then I'm going to search for my office. If my office is not found, let's say I'm going to put in the first thing you'll want to do is search actually by city. That'll make it the easiest to find. So I'm going to type in something, assuming that there is no office, and I can click to add that office. So I would click that. It's going to ask you for the address and the information. It'll confirm that the location looks right on a map, and you'll be good to go. And it'll ask you the rest of the questions. But I'm going to, in this example, just pick an existing office. So I'm going to pick one of our test offices here. And the first thing that pops up is possible matches. So I'm going to look here and say Moore Park Saturday. Okay, someone's already created this BPM. It's probably one of the other SMDs in my office. So I'm going to select that to join up with that BPM. This is going to allow my entire base shop to see that as an option on their Captain's List invites page. So they'll be able to click invites, and they'll be able to enter a date that falls on a Saturday. It's going to give them this office as an option to add an invite. If it was a different BPM, I could say not here. I could select a different time and even give it a name if I want to. But you don't want to do that unless you're actually running a completely separate BPM in the same office. It might be that it's a different time of the day, but in most cases you're going to be combining with someone if they've already created it. So I'm going to save that. That BPM is going to show. I will look, I have a couple of tests in here, so I see my test BPM here. I can actually click this button and see what other SMDs are in that BPM. And I can also, if I ever stop using that BPM or don't want my team to be able to add names to it for the moment, I can hit the delete button, and what that's going to do is archive it. Once it's been archived, it's going to go gray down here in your archive listings. So that will still allow people to go back in their history and see names that they've invited to different events, but they won't be able to add any new names to that BPM moving forward. And then if you want to change that, you can always hit this green revert button, and that will bring the inactive BPM back into active status. So once you've done that, you can always come back to this page and check. You can see this number here, 4. That indicates that there are 4 different SMDs that are all using, that are all participating in this one BPM. So you can always come back here and check, make sure your whole team is there, make sure everyone else in the office is connected on the same BPM. And the reason you want that is so that when you have a guest check-in, you can have just one person at the front desk, and they can have it open. They can get everyone's lists searchable so that they can just type and mark everyone as checked in. And that should be all that you need. If you have any questions or need additional help with BPMs, feel free to hit the chat bubble in the bottom right, and we will get right with you to help.